dieser Folge gehen wir der Faszination des Tipis auf die Spur. Denn das Tipi ist nicht einfach nur ein Naturzelt, sondern es beinhaltet jede Menge Symbolik, die gerade für die American Natives von hohem Wert ist. Dazu erzählt uns unser Freund Kendall mehr, aber zuerst starten wir natürlich mit dem Aufbau. Und wir freuen uns über eure Unterstützung mit einem Abo oder einem Like. Das Tipi ist nicht nur ein Meisterwerk der Architektur, das uns im Winter wärmt und im Sommer kühlt. Wir können dort auch mit unserer Familie, unseren Freunden zusammen sein, bei genügend Platz, in der Natur, in der Freiheit. Aber stopp! Hinter dem Tipi steckt noch viel mehr. Unser Freund Kendall Old Elk vom Stamm der Apsaalooke hat uns mehr erzählt über die Symbolik, die in diesem Tipi auch noch steckt.
So, ich bin hier mit Kendall und wir wollen uns heute über Tipis unterhalten. Und nun meine Frage, Kendall, can you tell me the story behind the Tipi? I think everything has a meaning and
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let me start with what you see behind us would be a typical Lakota style teepee. Each tribe had a distinct way of making their teepees. Some started with 4 poles on the base, some started with 3 poles on the base. It depends on the tribe. And also each tribe had a distinct way of putting the poles up. The Crow style, my tribe, we have four base, and we start in the back. Basically right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, with the last pole with the teepee tied to it, coming up through the middle. Something interesting, when you look from the bottom up, it looks like your fingers praying. Some tribes, they will do it in a spiral manner. Other tribes, it depends on the way they are brought up and their stories. For the Apsaalooke, the Crow tribe, each pole has a meaning. There are the poles for each season, the helpers, the chief. Some poles are for health, some poles are for doing good in work, with money. Some poles are just for wishes that you might have of the personal owner. The Crow style, we will have 2 guards by the door, the grizzly bear and the cougar. And we will have 2 watchers, the owl and the coyote. These are up here. Well, historically, a long time ago, it was 2 women that could make a teepee in 20 minutes.
And can you tell the audience how functional is a tipi?
Oh, how functional. Wow. That's a good question. You see, a teepee can be used year-round. Of course, today many of us, we use it for our summer homes. But you see, many of them, they will have a liner inside. And if you notice, you'll see that there's a space between the ground and the teepee. The liner will touch the ground, and this acts like a regulator inside. So the wind will come in and come out through the smoke hole, keeping the teepee nice and cool in the summer. And also, it will carry the smoke out, and the heat will maintain inside in the winter. It is very functional. It was easy to transport. It was our first style of mobile home, because of course we had to follow the buffalo. And because it was so quick to put up and so quick to come down, an interesting point, the teepee belongs to the woman. The teepee and everything inside belongs to the woman. The man would only have his horse, his weapons, and his moccasins, because it was his job to take care of the woman, to protect her, to provide security, to bring home meat.
Yeah.
Okay. Now everything inside and all the rules were set up by the woman. All the responsibilities, the cooking, the cleaning. Yeah, it sounds a little chauvinistic, but this was the way it was and the way it worked. Everyone had their place where they slept. Of course, the man and his wife, they slept opposite the door, but the young warriors would sleep next to the door. This was so that if there was an attack or an emergency, they could just come out the door and be ready.
And what is with Tipi painting? Is this an historical thing or comes from the modern?
Actually, there are some tribes that do paint their teepees, okay? I cannot speak for them because I do not come from their tribes, but from what I understand, each owner of a teepee that is painted has a special dream, a special vision, and this is how they will paint the teepees. Now the Apsaalooke, we take pride in our home. We take pride in our teepees, and as a result, we will keep them clean, because we have a lot of respect for them. Now, many times you'll see, a yellow teepee with brown and maybe a horse or an eagle on it, okay? For me, these are stereotypes, okay? The Indian must have a painted teepee. Okay, this comes from Hollywood.
Yeah.
These are the things that people think is true because they've seen it in a movie, they've seen it on television. But really, for us, each teepee is important, and the painting on it, if there is a painting, is to that individual and only for that individual.
Another question, I saw on some pictures, leaves on the tip of the poles. What means that?
Okay, this would be, as for other tribes, I don't think I've ever seen this with other tribes, but my tribe, for example, we, like I said, we take pride in our home. And many times to show that the people that these are fresh trees, we will leave some of the tips on the teepees. And for example, in our celebration in August, it's called the Crow Fair. You'll have almost 2,000 teepees set up all together in the big camp. And many times as you're driving through, you'll see these teepees with the treetops still on them. This is to show that we're not afraid of work. We have pride in our teepee, and we went to that mountain and we brought these back down, and this is the proof that they're still fresh.
Thank you, Kendall, for that interesting explanation, and I hope we will see you soon here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Gewinnspiel der Woche.
So, I have a question for you. When I was explaining the teepees, I said that there are 2 guards by the door. What are the guards? Who are they? Where are they from? From what I understand, the winner will receive these earrings. What's interesting about these earrings is you can say that they are a combination of old and new. Before the traders came, we used the quills from the porcupines in our jewelry. In our artwork, we used what is the quill from the porcupine. We would use berries, we would use roots, boil it in water, and that's how they would color them. Of course, we would mash them down with our teeth and then sew them, folding them over, sew them, folding them over. After the coming of the traders, they brought with them the beads. Most of the beads came from Czechoslovakia. Today, many still come from Czechoslovakia, some come from Japan. But you can say that this is a combination of the old and the new. Just like many of the Apsaalooke, we live in two worlds, the modern world and the traditional world. So you can say that this is a combination. Now, who made these? I did. So the correct answer will be in the comments down below on YouTube or on Facebook. So, good luck and have fun.
So, ihr Lieben, das war schon wieder von uns für heute. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet Spaß und wer von euch auf den Geschmack gekommen ist und dieses Wochenende im Tipi übernachten möchte, dem wünschen wir ganz kuschelige und abenteuerliche Träume.